Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. The notion of a life after death and the Day of Judgment, which is one of the core principles of the Islamic faith, aligns perfectly with human intuition and moral instincts, and here's why. The tendency to identify what is good and what is bad is a natural instinct of humans, because once an individual commits a crime, such as the crime of killing another person, reasonable and conscientious people immediately develop the urge to bring that perpetrator to justice. Therefore, the need for justice and retribution is an innate human factor. This is part of the reason why every government has a judiciary that is responsible for the legal system of the nation. Additionally, every human society or civilization that has ever existed on this planet has had some kind of legal system to help maintain order and prevent any disparity in justice. But what happens if a criminal manages to escape trial and then dies before anyone lay hands on him? Does that mean he escapes judgment for good? Of course, for someone who doesn't believe in the life after death, this criminal escapes trial. So what about the victim? Does that mean he automatically loses his case because the criminal is dead and therefore he won't receive any justice? Again, for someone who denies a life after death, an oppressor who spent his life committing crimes against others, killing, looting and taking away others' livelihoods, can get away with it as long as he escapes judgment in this world, because he does not get to live again to be judged for his crimes. But this seems to contradict our moral conscience, because how does it make any logical sense to imagine an individual being subjected to all these unjust actions and yet not receive any retribution? Our moral conscience dictates that a good person gets compensated for their actions and a bad person gets punished for their actions too. But in this case, the feelings of that poor individual who endured life's hardships and was subjected to such a hostile treatment are totally disregarded, and thus lost his moral status. All that burning desire for justice fades away the moment they die, because they and their oppressor will meet the same fate after death. In light of this, the whole world becomes no more than a theater where we simply play our roles and die without any accountability, leaving the phenomena of life void of any substantial meaning. So, to avoid this moral paradox, we believe that every human being has two dimensions: the material dimension, which is his physical body, and the spiritual dimension, which is the soul, the immortal essence of every human being transcending into another realm to live for eternity, where he will face judgment and be held accountable for his deeds. We also believe that there is a powerful judge whose authority extends beyond our material existence. So even if a criminal escapes judgment in this world and the oppressed are deprived of justice, they will ultimately face divine reckoning in the life after, where the omnipotent judge will dispense a perfect justice, rewarding the righteous and holding the wicked accountable for their misdeeds. That's all for today, and thanks for listening.